I'm sorry, I can't handle this. I stared at him. My lips parted, but no words came out. The machines beeped steadily around me cold, rhythmic reminders that I was still here, still bleeding, still broken. You're leaving, I whispered, voice raw. Liam looked down, unable to meet my eyes. I thought I could do this. I really did. Do what, Liam? Hold my hand through one of the worst days of my life. He took a step back. I didn't sign up for this. I don't know how to be. It's that guy, the one who stays when it gets dark. I lost our baby. My voice cracked. And you're talking about signing up? He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. You don't get it. I came here. I tried. You stayed for 30 minutes. I couldn't breathe in there, he said, nodding toward my hospital room. You looked so ... pale. I didn't know what to do. You just lay there. I was sedated, Liam. I know, he muttered. That's the problem. I can't fix any of this. I didn't ask you to fix anything. I asked you to stay. He didn't reply. He turned toward the door. Please, I whispered. Don't go. Not like this. He paused, his back still to me. I'm sorry. Then he left. Just like that. I stared at the empty doorway long after the sound of his footsteps faded. The hospital air felt colder. My fingers trembled as they clutched the blanket pulled up to my chest. I heard a knock. My mother stepped in, holding a styrofoam cup. Her eyes softened the moment she saw my face. He left, I said, barely a whisper. She came to my side quickly, sweetheart. Asked him not to, I begged. Her hand brushed my hair back. You don't have to beg anyone to love you. But I did. She sat down, tears welling in her eyes. Some people aren't built for this kind of pain. That's not an excuse, I said bitterly. He was supposed to be there for me, for us, she nodded. I know. I stared. At the ceiling. It was white, plain, like nothing had happened under it. Like no lives had broken here. I didn't even get to hold her. I whispered. Mum squeezed my hand. You were losing too much blood. The doctors had to act fast. I felt her, though, I said, before it all went black. She was there. She existed. She still does. In you. I closed my eyes. That made it worse. Silence filled the room, but it wasn't peaceful. It was the kind that screamed between your ears. I opened them again. You think he'll come back? She hesitated. Do you want him to? I didn't answer. Because I didn't know. I used to believe in Liam. In us, but that version of Mitha, one who made vision boards with our future she, died in this room, too. Rest, Mom said softly. You need it. I won't sleep. I'll be right. Here, she promised, and she was. But even with her beside me, I'd never felt more alone. Morning crept in through the blinds. I didn't remember falling asleep, but I must have. The nurse came in, all clinical politeness. How are you feeling today? I blinked slowly, like a shell. She paused. Do you want to talk to someone? We have support? No. I cut her off. I just want to go home. My mother looked at me carefully. Are you sure? I can't stay here. Not in this room. She nodded. I'll talk to the doctor. When we finally left, I expected Liam to be outside. He wasn't. I looked at my phone. No missed calls. No texts. Maybe he's giving you space, Mom said gently. No, I said. He's giving me silence. Home felt unfamiliar. Too quiet. My room still had the sonogram picture taped to the mirror. I didn't take it down. I couldn't. I sat on the edge of my bed, phone in my hand, staring at his contact. Should I call? No, he chose not to stay. Days passed, then a week. Not a single word. The flowers his sister sent wilted in their vase. She meant well. But it wasn't her betrayal that haunted me. I finally opened my phone and deleted his number, but not before reading our old texts one last time. Liam, I'll love you no matter what. Liam, you're the strongest woman. I know. Liam, I'll be there. Double quotes lies. My mom knocked on my door. Can I come in? Yeah. She entered with folded laundry and set it down gently. "I'm proud of you," she said. "You're stronger than I've ever seen you." Shook my head. "I don't feel strong. I feel empty. Sometimes surviving is the strongest thing you can do." I stared at my reflection in the mirror. I didn't recognize her, but maybe, just maybe, that wasn't a bad thing. Did she text back? My mom asked, placing a warm cup of tea on my nightstand. I shook my head without looking up from the screen. "No," left me on red again. "Tessa was your best friend, right?" "Was," I muttered. Past tense. Mom sighed and sat at the edge of my bed. "Some people don't know how to stay when it matters. Apparently that includes my boyfriend and my best friend." I forced a bitter laugh. Maybe I should have handed out instruction manuals before the miscarriage? She didn't respond to that. She knew there was nothing to say. Later that night, I scrolled through my messages again. "Tessa, I'm so sorry. Call me if you need anything." That was 2 weeks ago. I did call. She didn't answer. I typed out a new message. "Me, you disappeared too. Just say that." Then I deleted it. No use bleeding on someone who watched you get cut and walked away. I sat alone on the couch, the television playing some background show I wasn't watching. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I used to hate silence. Now I craved it because silence didn't lie to me. A knock on the door broke the stillness. I opened it and found Tessa standing there, holding a store-bought pie and wearing guilt-like makeup. "Hey," she said, hesitant. I blinked. "Pie, it's ... apple. Your favorite? You ignored me for 2 weeks and thought pie would fix it?" "I didn't know what to say," she whispered. I crossed my arms. "Try. I abandoned you when you needed me." She looked down. "I didn't mean to. I just didn't know how to help." "You didn't have to help, Tessa. You just had to stay." She nodded slowly. "I'm sorry." I stepped back. "Come in. But I'm not pretending everything's okay. Fair?" she said, walking in. She sat across from me on the floor. No music, no distractions. "I was scared," she admitted. "You were different after it happened. Quieter, numb." "Gee, I wonder why," I said dryly. "I know. I was wrong to pull away." She took a deep breath. "I should have been there. I just ... I thought maybe Liam left first." Tessa looked at me, guilt flooding her eyes. "He told me he needed space. I figured you two were working through it privately." "Did he tell you I almost bled out?" I asked. "That I begged him to stay and he walked out on me?" Her mouth dropped open. "No," he said. "He said it was mutual." I scoffed. "Of course he did." "I'm sorry," she said again, softer this time. I looked away. "Do you know what it's like to cry into a pillow so no one hears you at night? To look around and realize no one's left?" "No," she whispered. "I didn't need everyone to fix me. I just needed one person to stay." Her voice broke. "And I wasn't that person." I swallowed hard. "No, you weren't." We sat in silence for a while. She didn't try to touch me. Didn't push for forgiveness. That was the first thing she did, right? Later, she stood to leave. "I hope we can fix this someday," she said, eyes glistening. "Maybe," I replied. "Astute, but don't come around just to ease your guilt. That's not friendship." She nodded and left. I didn't cry after she closed the door. Not that night, but the next morning. I did, quietly. The kind of crying that doesn't make a sound. The kind that happens while brushing your teeth or folding laundry or looking in the mirror at dinner. Mom asked gently, "Did it help seeing her a little?" I admitted. "At least now I know she left on purpose." She frowned. "It doesn't make it okay, I know, but clarity is something." That night I pulled out my sketchbook. The pages were mostly blank. I'd stopped drawing after the loss. Nothing felt worth it. But I picked up a pencil anyway. I didn't sketch anything specific, just lines, curves, motion. The tension in my chest slowly eased as the graphite dragged across paper. I was still here. The phone lit up. A text from an unknown number. "It's Liam. Can we talk?" I locked the screen without replying. That night I cried again, but not out of heartbreak. It With something else? Maybe healing. I want you to write him a letter, Dr. Rivera said, setting down her pen. Say everything you'd say if you weren't afraid. I raised an eyebrow, and then what? Mail it to the void. She smiled gently. Burn it. Shred it. Tear it up. But say it for you, not him. That night, I sat on my bedroom floor, knees tucked to my chest. A blank page stared up at me like it was waiting to ruin me. Fine, I picked up the pen. Dear Liam, you said you couldn't handle it. Funny because I didn't get a choice. I was the one bleeding. I was the one hooked up to IVs. I was the one who lost something. You just lost your exit plan. You took it. I paused, my hand shaking. But I kept writing. I begged you to stay. Do you know what that felt like? Do you even care? You said you loved me. You said I was your always, but always turned into I can't real quick, didn't it? I didn't need a perfect man. I needed someone who wouldn't run. My breath hitched. I blinked hard. Do you even remember her? 'Cause I do. I remember what it felt like to lose her. I remember waking up and knowing she was gone. And you were, too. You left me in a hospital bed, alone. I scribbled harder now. But you know what hurts more than losing her? Losing the version of me who trusted you, who loved you. I don't know where she went, Liam. Maybe she died that day too. Or maybe she's still buried under all this pain. I set the pen down, my chest heaved. That should have been enough. But at WASN single quotes, and still some sick part of me hoped you'd come back. I don't know why. Maybe to apologize. Maybe to pretend you cared. But mostly, I hoped you'd see what you did, feel it, regret it, but you won't. You never felt anything deeply enough. Not unless it affected you directly. I clenched the pen. You didn't just leave me. You taught me something I hate. You taught me that even love can be conditional. Even promises are temporary. My throat tightened. But I'm done waiting for you to change or explain or feel. You were the earthquake, but I survived the ruins. Goodbye, Liam. I signed it. No date, name. Just a silent declaration that I wouldn't carry his shadow anymore. The next morning, I sat across from Dr. Rivera in her softly lit office. She noticed the smudges on my hands. You wrote it? I nodded, poured everything in. Did you send it? No. Why not? I pulled out the charred edge of the letter from my coat pocket. Because fire doesn't lie. It gave me something his words never did closure. She smiled warmly. That's powerful. I didn't think I had it in me, I whispered. Most people don't until they're forced to find it. I exhaled, finally letting myself fall into the couch. You said healing isn't linear, I muttered. But some moments they feel like a straight line, like finally moving forward. Dr. Rivera nodded. Because they are. This Friday was one of those moments. As I left her office, I looked up at the cloudy sky. It wasn't beautiful, but it was mine. Are you sure about this? Mom asked, her hands folded tightly as I zipped up my suitcase. I need the change, I said quietly, a clean break. She gave me that worried look again. It's just a 3-month internship. You could have picked something closer. Didn't want close, I replied. I wanted new. The bus ride to the city wasn't long, but every second stretched. My thoughts played old memories on loop. The hospital. Liam's back as he walked away. Tessa's silence. The letter I burned. By the time we pulled into the terminal, felt like I'd held my breath the entire trip. Day 1, the design agency was downtown glass walls. Polished floors, fast-talking creatives in sneakers and blazers. I checked in at the front desk. My voice cracked slightly. I'm here for the internship. It's design team. The receptionist smiled. You're early. It's a good sign. 15 minutes later, a tall guy with tousled hair and a sketch pad tucked under his arm walked toward me. You must be the new intern, he said. I stood. That obvious? Only because you're standing like you're about to bolt. He grinned. I'm Aiden. I'm me. I cringed. Sorry. My name's Claire. Claire? he repeated, nodding. "It's nice to meet you, Claire." He walked me through the studio, pointing out different departments. "This is where all the coffee goes to die," said, motioning to a cluttered table. I laughed, unexpected and real. "That bad, you'll see." "But hey, at least the coffee's free. That's how they keep us here." At my desk, he leaned over. "You're not from around here, right?" "No. Just needed a fresh start." He didn't press, just smiled. "Well, welcome to chaos, the good kind." That afternoon, he dropped a sketch pad on my desk. "Bored yet?" "Just observing. It's my thing." He tapped the cover. "Then draw." Observation deserves expression. I raised an eyebrow. "You sound like a Pinterest quote." "Rude," he said, mock offended. "You'll thank me later." At lunch, we sat on the rooftop overlooking the city. Wind tugged at my hair as I unwrapped my sandwich. So he said between bites, "What made you choose design?" "I like creating things that don't talk back." He laughed. "Fair? And you?" "My mom's an architect. I guess the creative mess runs in the family." I nodded. "I used to draw all the time. Then life happened." He studied my face but didn't ask. "Well, I hope you pick it back up. Your line works clean. Thoughtful." "You looked at?" "My sketch pad. You left it open." I narrowed my eyes. "You're nosy, curious," he corrected. "Big difference?" Back inside, he tossed me a pencil. "You owe me 1 doodle a day. It's not in the contract." "Then I guess you're already breaking the rules?" By 5 p.m., I felt different, lighter, not fixed. But not drowning, I reached for my phone and saw a message from Liam again. "Just wanted to know if you're okay." Locked the screen. "Everything good?" Aiden asked, noticing my expression. "Yeah," I said, just deleting ghosts. As I stepped onto the sidewalk outside, he called out, "Hey, Claire." I turned. "You smiled today," he said. "It's twice. That has to mean something." I smiled again. This time it reached my eyes. The knock came just after 8. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened the door and froze. Liam. He looked thinner, paler. His eyes were swollen. Like he hadn't slept. "Claire," he breathed. God. "Hi." My fingers curled around the doorframe. "What are you doing here? I've been trying to reach you. You blocked me." "I know. I didn't move. Why are you here?" "Can we talk?" he asked. "Please, just 5 minutes." I hesitated, then stepped aside without a word. He walked in like a stranger. "I didn't know where else to go," he said, standing in the middle of my small living room. "I went by your mom's. She wouldn't tell me anything." "Smart woman," I muttered. He turned slowly. Lost. "My job, Claire." I crossed my arms and Natalie left me. I raised an eyebrow. "Natalie, my girlfriend," he admitted. After the hospital, I met her a few months later." I scoffed. "So you replaced me, and now she replaced you." "Got it." He winced. "It's not like that." "It's exactly like that, Liam." He stepped closer. "I've been thinking about you every day." "I made a mistake." "Mistake," I repeated, my voice low. "You left me in a hospital bed, Liam." "I know." I panicked. I didn't know how to process. "I didn't need you to process. I cut in. I needed you to stay." He swallowed hard. "I'm not proud of it." "You shouldn't be." Silence stretched between us. "I lost everything," he whispered. "My job. My apartment. Her, I realized too late I had something real with. My chest tightened, but not in the way it used to." "Why now?" I asked why only after everything fell apart. I didn't know what I had until it was gone. "No," I said softly, "you knew. You just didn't care enough to keep it." He sat down slowly, elbows on his knees. "I miss you." I stood there, still. "You miss the version of me who needed you. That girl doesn't exist anymore." I looked up. "I know I don't deserve it, but I wanted to apologize." "Then say it." "I'm sorry, Claire. I failed you. I failed her." I blinked. "You don't get to say her name." He nodded. "Okay, My phone buzzed on the table. Aiden's name lit up the screen. I didn't answer, but I didn't silence it either. Liam. Noticed. New guy, new piece. He exhaled slowly. Do you hate me? I sat down across from him. No, I don't hate you. But I don't love you either. Not anymore. He looked like I'd slapped him. You always said I was strong. I continued. But when things got hard, you ran. I was scared. So was I, and I stayed. He dropped his head into his hands. I thought I could fix it later. I thought you'd wait. I did wait, I said, but not for you. He looked up. I waited for myself, and I found her. Again, Liam stood slowly. I guess I should go. You should. He paused at the door. If I'd stayed, would we have made it? I didn't hesitate. If you'd stayed, I wouldn't have had to become someone stronger. He nodded. You look stronger? I am. He opened the door. Goodbye, Claire. Goodbye. Liam, he walked into the hallway, shoulders hunched. I didn't watch him go. I closed the door and leaned against it, breathing in the silence, and then I smiled. Are you sure about this? Aiden asked as I stood in front of the mirror adjusting the necklace. No, I said honestly, clasping the chain. But I need to do it. He nodded. Closure. Exactly. I looked at my reflection simple. Dress, soft makeup. And the necklace I'd bought for myself last month? Gold. Small. Not flashy like the ones Liam used to give me. But it felt like mine. Liam was already at the restaurant when I arrived, same booth. Same fake smile. He stood when he saw me. You look amazing, he said. Thanks. I slid into the booth across from him. You wore something new. Don't wear old stories anymore, I replied. His smile faltered. Right. The waiter came, took our orders. Silence filled the space like static. Liam cleared his throat. I'm glad you came. Almost didn't. But I needed to see you. Say everything I should have said. Go on then. He shifted in his seat. When I left that hospital, I didn't realize how much damage I'd done. I was in shock. I didn't know how to be what you needed. You didn't try. I know. And I've lived with that guilt every day. I stirred my water. Guilt isn't the same as love, Liam. I never stopped loving you. I looked up. Then why did you replace me so fast? He flinched. It wasn't like that, wasn't it? The food came, but neither of us touched it. I thought I could move on, he said. But no. One else felt like you. Because they weren't me, I said. And I'm not the girl you left behind anymore either. He studied me. You've changed. I had to. He leaned in. But deep down, you still feel it, right? The connection. I gave a half smile. I did, for a long time, even after you left. I waited for a text, a call, a reason. Anything. I was ashamed. You were selfish. He looked hurt, but I didn't stop. You made me believe I wasn't worth staying for. That pain doesn't go away, Liam. Sorry, he whispered. I wish I could undo it. You can't. He reached across the table. I pulled my hands back. You still love me, right? He asked, almost desperate. I looked him dead in the eyes. I did. But I don't love who you became. Silence. Again, only this time it was full. You're different, he said softly. I'm better, I replied. He stared at the necklace around my neck. That's not one I gave you. No, I said, smiling gently. I bought it for myself. Beautiful. So am I said, standing. And you didn't see it when it mattered? He stood too. Claire, wait. No, I said. I waited long enough. I turned, walking away from the table, from the man who broke me, from the version of myself who still wanted him. Outside the air was cold, but I felt weightless. My phone buzzed. Aiden, you good? I typed back quickly. Me, I am now. I was cleaning out my closet when I found the box-worn edges, taped corners, covered in dust. I froze, staring at it like it might bite. At DIDN's single quotes. It just sat there. I pulled it out slowly, my fingers, brushing over the top. Notebooks, sketch pads, loose pages, journals. Aiden walked in behind me. You okay? I nodded, though my chest felt tight. Yeah, just found some old ghosts. He smiled gently. Want company? No, I need to do this alone. All right, he kissed my temple. I'll be in the kitchen if you need me. Sat on the floor, cross-legged, and opened the first journal. June 3rd, he said he loved me. But I don't think love walks out when you're broken. My hands trembled. The handwriting was mine. But the girl behind the words felt like a stranger. I flipped through more pages. July 10th, I don't recognize myself anymore. I cry without warning. I fake smiles at breakfast. I feel like a shell. Tears pricked the corners of my eyes, but I kept going. I wasn't scared of the pain anymore. I just wanted to honor it. August 14th, I keep wondering if he ever really loved me or just the version of me that made him feel good about himself. I whispered to the page, he didn't deserve you. And for the first time, I believed it. The next entry hit differently. September 1st, maybe it's not about healing for him. Maybe it's about surviving for me. I want to be the kind of woman who doesn't need a rescue. I laughed through a tear. You already were. You just didn't know it. I pulled out another letter, folded and sealed. No name on the front. I opened it. To the girl who's still trying to be enough. You already are. You don't need his approval. You don't need anyone to clap for your growth. Just breathe. Just be. Keep going. I exhaled. That letter wasn't for Liam. It was for me. From me, the door creaked slightly. Aiden peeked in. Want coffee, actually? Yeah. He walked over, handed me the mug, then noticed the journal in my lap. Yours, he asked. From a version of me I almost buried. He sat beside me quietly. She sounds brave. She was desperate. Desperation is often bravery in disguise. I looked at him, then back at the pages. I used to write to feel heard, even when no one was listening. Are you still writing? Not like this. He nodded. Maybe it's time to write a new one. A journal that doesn't begin with heartbreak. I flipped to the last page in the box. It was blank. No date, no scribble, just space. I picked up a pen. I forgive you, Claire. You were doing your best. And it was enough. Aiden watched me quietly. Is that from the past or the present, both? Hey, Aiden said, leaning against the counter as I rinsed out my mug. I was thinking maybe we could grab dinner this weekend. I froze. Not because I didn't like him, but because I did. Dinner. I repeated, yeah, nothing fancy. Just something outside this apartment. I set the mug down. Aiden, it's not pressure, he added quickly. It's an invitation. I gave him a soft look. Can I think about it? Of course. He smiled. No expectations. Night I lay awake staring at the ceiling. Why did this feel harder than it should? He wasn't Liam. That was the problem and the blessing. The next morning I found him on the rooftop sketching. Mind if I sit? I asked. Not at all. We sat in silence for a while, the wind moving through our hair. I owe you honesty. I finally said, Tot. He looked up. Okay. I lost a child. Months ago. His pencil stopped. Claire, I was in the hospital. Liam left. I begged him to stay, and he walked out. His face changed, softer. I didn't know. I don't talk about it, not with many people. But if we're going to dinner, you should know the parts of me that aren't shiny. I'm not here for the shine, he said. I'm here for you. I exhaled. I shut down after it happened. I continued. I felt abandoned. Not just by him, but by everyone. And now, opening up again. It terrifies me. He nodded. Makes sense. I don't want to carry that into something new. You don't have to carry it alone, he said. We sat quietly again. Then he turned to me. You know, you don't have to be okay for me to care. I blinked. Say that again? You don't have to be okay? I'm not here to fix you. I'm just here. Tears welled in my eyes unexpectedly. I'm not used to that. I whispered. Used to what? Being? Loved without conditions. I'm not offering perfect, he said gently. Just real. We went to dinner that Saturday. Nothing fancy. Just a little Italian place with red booths and soft music. I was nervous the whole time, but I laughed more than I had in months. After dinner, he walked me to my door. I had fun. He said, "Me too." He hesitated. "Can I kiss you?" I smiled. "Not yet." He grinned. "Okay, I'll wait." I watched him walk away. Heart full and scared at the same time. Healing didn't mean erasing the past. It meant living with it openly. I didn't want to go to the party. Crowds still made me anxious. But Aiden insisted. "It's just a rooftop birthday," he said, brushing something off my shoulder. "Free food, fairy lights, and awkward dancing. You had me at awkward." I smiled. The place was packed laughter bouncing off the walls, music pulsing beneath our feet. I stuck close to Aiden, sipping soda and swaying half-heartedly to the beat. "You okay?" he asked, trying. I said, "So far, no emotional collapse." He grinned. Progress. Then I saw him Liam at the bar, alone, drink in hand. I stiffened. "He's here." Aiden followed my gaze. "Want to leave?" "No," I said. "I'm not running. It's an hour past." I managed to enjoy myself until Liam appeared in front of me, stumbling slightly. "Claire," he slurred. "Can we talk?" "Not now." He ignored that. "You look good." I stepped back. "You're drunk." He laughed bitterly. "Still so cold, huh?" Aiden stepped forward. "You need to back off." Liam raised his hands. "Relax, hero. I just want a word." "With your volume, everyone's getting one." Then he turned to the crowd, voice rising. "She left me, he announced. "She made me the villain." I froze. A few heads turned. "She acts like she's perfect." He went on. "But she's not. She shut me out. Didn't even give me a chance." I stepped forward. "Liam, stop." "No," he snapped. "Give me a second chance." That's when someone handed me the mic. I didn't hesitate. "I owe you," said. Into the mic. "You left me in a hospital bed." A hush fell. "You walked away when I was at my lowest. You vanished when I needed support. And now, because your life fell apart, you want to redo." He blinked, stunned. I took a breath. "You left me when I needed you most. I don't owe you anything." Silence. Then someone clapped then more until the whole party was applauding Liam. Stood there, jaw tight, then stormed off without another word. Aiden touched my arm. "You okay?" I exhaled. "I think I finally am." "Liam, please, just coffee. One conversation, one last time." I stared at the message for a long minute. Then I typed, "Tomorrow, noon. The park bench by the lake." It sent before I could second guess myself. "Are you sure?" Aiden asked, his fingers grazing mine over breakfast. "No," I replied, "but I need to close this chapter. On my terms. Do you want me nearby?" "No, I have to do this alone." The park was quiet. Golden leaves rustled in the breeze, and ducks paddled lazily in the water. He was already sitting, their same coat, same nervous bounce in his leg. He stood when he saw me. "Claire." "Liam, you look ... Well, I am." He gestured. "To the bench, sit." I sat. He did too, but slower, like the words he brought were heavy. "I'm not here to ask for anything," he began. "I just needed to say it to your face." I waited. "I'll never forgive myself." I nodded. "Okay. I wake up every day thinking about how I left you, how I broke you." "You didn't break me," I said softly. "You hurt me." Breaking me would have meant I didn't get back up. He looked down at his hands. "I saw the party video online. The way you handled it, ... I deserved every word." I didn't argue. He glanced at me. "Did you mean it? That you forgave me?" "I did." His voice cracked. "Then why does it still hurt?" "'Cause consequences don't disappear with apologies." He was quiet for a long moment. "Then do you ever think about what we could have been?" "I used to," I admitted. Now I just think about who I am without you. And who is that? Stronger, softer, wiser? Someone I actually like. He gave a sad smile. I'm glad you found her. I found her because you left. He sighed. I know I don't get a happy ending with you. But I needed you to know how sorry I am. Kay, and I needed you to hear this. I already forgave you, but forgiveness doesn't mean I want you back. He looked down, blinking fast. Thank you, he whispered. I stood up slowly. Thank you, too. He looked up, confused. For what? For teaching me who not to love? I turned, walked toward the path, and past a trash can. I pulled the dried, withered rose from my coat pocket, the one he once gave me, pressed into a book, forgotten for months. I dropped it in without looking back. You're glowing, Jenna said as I stepped into the office. Did you finally get a full night's sleep or win the lottery? I laughed. Neither. Just peace. She raised an eyebrow. Is that new skincare or emotional growth? Emotional growth, I grinned. Way more expensive. I sat at my desk, pulled out my sketch pad, and started doodling. Aiden peeked over the top of the partition. Wow, early and sketching. Who are you? Someone who stopped carrying things that weren't hers. He smiled. That sounds suspiciously poetic for a Monday. At lunch, we sat on the rooftop like always, the city stretching wide beneath us. You seem different, he said. I feel different. He waited quietly, giving me space. I met Liam, I said. Aiden didn't flinch. You okay? I am. More than okay, actually. I said goodbye, and I meant it. That's a big step. I didn't cry, didn't shake. I just spoke my truth, and then walked away. He nodded slowly. So, what now? I stopped trying to prove I've healed. I just live. We sat in silence for a moment, then he shifted closer. I know we've taken things slow, he said. But if I kissed you right now, would it ruin the peace? I smiled softly. Try me. He leaned in and kissed me gentle, steady, no rush, no tension, just warmth, just stillness. When he pulled back, I didn't feel dizzy. I felt whole. No. Fireworks, he said. I like it better that way, I replied. Same. Back downstairs, I passed a framed design I had submitted last month's my first accepted campaign. I touched the glass. I did that. You did, Aiden said behind me. And you'll do more. Later, as I packed up to leave, Jenna leaned over. Whatever piece you found, bottle it. One needs some. I laughed. It's not a secret, then tell me. Chose me, and I did. Not out of spite. Not out of bitterness, but because finally understood that. I was worth choosing all along. My phone lit up, Liam. Again, I stared at the screen for a second. No panic. No ache. Just a faint. Familiar. Nothingness. Aiden walked in from the kitchen, holding 2 plates. Music's cued. Pasta's hot. You good? I smiled and turned the phone over, face down on the table. Perfect. He raised an eyebrow. Spam call. Just noise. We sat on the couch, plates in our laps, music low in the background. The air smelled like garlic and peace. Is this your playlist or mine? He asked. Mine, but you're welcome. He grinned. It's very you. Soft and stubborn. My phone buzzed again. Same name. I didn't even glance at it. Aiden looked over but didn't ask. Do you ever wonder what closure sounds like? I said quietly. He shrugged. Sometimes silence says more. I leaned back, warm and full and still. Liam had left when I needed him most, but I didn't need him to come back. I needed me, and I'm still here.